It's 9:20. What? Is it Thursday? How come I never know what day it is? Man. It is Thursday. One day just turns into the other, you know? I don't ever know what it is because I work every day. And so it just turns into, one day turns into another. It looks like it's getting ready to rain outside. I went outside hoping to get some fresh air, but it doesn't feel very fresh. It's just like kind of muggy and hot. Like, I don't like that. So I came into the store, and it smells so good in here. All my soaps, and it's really nice. It's one of the things that people notice right away, even when they get out of their cars. But I walked into the store, and I was listening to the music that I have playing in here all the time. Peaceful music to permeate all of the materials that are in here, to infuse good intentions, good vibrations into everything that we sell. But I see this sign over here, this buy now, pay later from Shop Pay. And I've heard people at the counter look at this and shake their head and say, I never buy anything that I can't afford. And when I saw this sign in here just now, it made me think of that, you know, and then I started thinking, damn, it's not a bad philosophy, you know. Sometimes, you know, we really want something bad, even though it's probably not the best time for it, right? Yeah. Buy now, pay later. Right now we're just talking about money, but if you take these instructions and apply it to something like spiritual awareness or enlightenment or emotional intelligence or maturity, we can see how buying now and paying later, well, you could really pay. You pay in ways that you weren't counting on. Wanting something before you're ready, getting into a situation before you understand what you're getting into. These are real world scenarios that can have an impact that has the potential to change your life forever, and not just your life. Somebody else's also. And maybe more than one, maybe more than a dozen. At the same time, though, if we find ourselves biting off more than we can chew, isn't it also true that this has the potential to grow you in a way that you could never grow if you didn't bite off more than you could chew? Man, it's one of those paradoxes. Should I or shouldn't I? You know, it brings me back to a place in my life where I did this. And it's when the towers fell in New York City. And I really was at a place in my life where I think I was extremely politically naive. And I just couldn't believe that my government would tell me something that wasn't true. So I believed everything that they said with regards to 9/11. And something in my heart stirred and I felt like called to help. And looking back now, I can say with all honesty, for sure, I was politically naive, but my heart was in the right place, and I think that's important. My heart was in the right place. I wanted to help. I thought that my country needed me, and I figured if I don't, then who will, right? So at 35 years old, I decided I was going to join the Army. And my life was forever changed. Buy now, pay later. I didn't think that through. I had no idea what I was getting into. When you look at the commercials online when they're recruiting, looking for people to go into the armed services, what do they show you? Guys hanging out of helicopters. You're using cool equipment. The best of everything. Uncle Sam's got your back. You think, man, I'm going to be part of this powerful machine, this force of good. And like anything, it's my memories of my time in the Army, my times in Iraq as a combat vet are bittersweet. Buy now, pay later. I paid so many times. I really rushed that through, and I had someone in my life who told me I was probably making a big mistake, and he said, I know you, and you're not gonna do well there. You're gonna have a very hard time taking orders from the kinds of people you're gonna have to take orders from. And I just said, I have to do this, Steve. I've got to do it. And he said, I know. And the things that I saw in Iraq and the things that I experienced in the Army, I can look at them and I can say, man, those experiences prepared me for some of the hardest battles that I've ever had to fight in life, and that's true. But there are other things that I experienced that I really could have done without. I recall leaving our base once, and across the road I'm watching a dog eat the corpse of some person that was caught up in a barbed wire fence. I've been on convoys where we came up on the aftermaths of IEDs, where other vehicles had exploded and the occupants of those vehicles were forever entombed in this crusted, dark, black, charred remains of their body as they're trying to crawl away from their vehicles and just frozen in time. And I saw that stuff. I'd been shot at, mortared, bombed, you name it, and I've had it. And I saw the worst aspects of humanity. And I I also saw the best. I saw so much heroic. I saw selfless service. I saw determination that I'd never seen before. I've seen so many people with so many amazing qualities. And I've also seen the worst too. People operating at very low and basic levels, putting many people's lives at risks. I saw young people who were forever changed. The things that they witnessed and saw, bringing them to a place where they can't even communicate anymore. They are just completely shut down, and there's nowhere to go. No resources available for these young people to work these things out. There's really something. I mean, you should see the equipment that we were using, the vehicles that we had. Junk. We're fending off and fighting off bullets, bombs, IEDs with essentially tin cans with wheels, trucks from 1960s era with windows that don't go down, windshields held into place with duct tape, headlights held in place with baling wire, ratchet straps keeping your doors closed because the locks don't work. But isn't that just the way life really is? Oftentimes you're left to live your life with the bare necessities, with the basics. It's a less than desirable platform to work from. A lot of people know real struggle. They've had that in their life, they've experienced it. And I don't know, there's a couple ways, there's two ways these things can either destroy you. They will either destroy you or they will make you stronger. One of the two. And you might not have to go to war to fight a war. A lot of you are fighting your own silent war right now. In your head, in your heart. And it feels every bit as real and dangerous as my 15 months in Iraq. You're in a fight for your life. Your sanity it can go one way or the other. You're on the brink. You cry yourself to sleep. You think, why even bother getting up? Many people are fighting this battle every single day, every day. Sometimes for years. And a lot of people they leave the fight. They can't. It's too much, and they check out. It's really tough. There's a large suicide component to overseas deployments. It happens a lot. It's a tough business, war. And it doesn't matter whether you're really talking about a theater of war or just life. It's hard. I've noticed that, the more, the higher quality life you want, the harder it is. And you think, wow, it shouldn't be this hard. My relationship shouldn't be this hard. My job shouldn't be this hard. There are no guarantees in life. None. The earth, this place, is a tough job to fill. It really is. Aside from the physical aspects of living life here, it's the psychological effects of everything that you see around you, even of places far away that you've never been to before. But you see the struggle as people live in houses with dirt floors and straw roof, or people who eat dirt. They eat dirt to survive. You can't even imagine. People are dealing with snakes and alligators and all kinds of crazy shit, man, trying to get them on a daily basis. Dealing with psychotic regimes that just come in and decimate entire villages. For what? It's so easy, isn't it? To look at all this madness and just say, why? Why bother? It's tough. It's tough. And have you ever heard of that saying, ignorance is bliss? Man, sometimes I'm like, man, I wish that was me. Sometimes I really do. I just was like, man, I wish I could do that. But for whatever reason, I don't get to join that club. Isn't that music beautiful? God, that just stirs my soul. It's crazy. I can throw my headphones on with this stuff and lay in my bed, and just cry and cry and cry. And not because I'm sad. No, it's like, I don't know, it's something different. It's not sadness, it's something else. I have lived a very hard life. Over the next many years, I'll be talking about my life and things that I've gone through ever since I was a child. And I think it's important, And I look at my life and I say, why did I have to go through so much? Why is there so much pain? Why is there so much trouble, complications? And what I know now is that, I had to go through those things to do what I'm doing here. That I had a destiny. I had a place in the future that was waiting for me. I had to build this platform to help bring in the new earth, so that there was a place where we could gather our strength, gather our wits, come together to learn how to go within, so that we could transmute all of this pain and suffering that we have all experienced into some kind of super love. Man, this kind of love, that's endless love, this ever-present, this unconditional love that cuts through all the hurt, all the anger, all the bitterness, all the trouble and strife, so that we can find that love for ourselves, so that we can forgive ourselves, so that we can release this pain, the doubt, the shame, the anger, the guilt that you've gathered all your life, so that you can be free from it, so that you can see yourself for the angel that you are, to love yourself again, so that you can love someone else and teach them how to love themselves and love others. You've heard the term pay it forward. That's it. That's it right there. That's how we bring in the new world. We find a way to center ourselves. We get ourselves squared away. And then we can help others get squared away so that they themselves can help others. It's an exponential equation, and it really works. And there's a lot of people engaged in this pursuit, in this endeavor, in this process. And I'm so glad to be a part of that. They're called light workers. And many of you who are watching these videos are light workers too. You just don't know it yet, but you are. And you're here because you're being called. Don't worry, you don't have to do too much. You know, you are doing so much just by being aware, just by going inside. If all you ever did between now and the rest of your life was to find your authentic self, to free yourself, to love yourself, really see yourself, that is in itself an achievement that almost nobody is able to do in a whole lifetime. It takes lifetimes for so many people, for most people. The only way that we're going to have peace on this earth, where we're not having to talk about war, or we're not having to talk about murder, is by going deep inside and finding ourselves, finding out who we really are, which is a really tough process, the process of awakening. It's an intentional process. It's not something that happens when you're just watching TV all day long or doom scrolling on your phone. So if this is something that you want to do, it's time to get intentional. And you have to put those things aside and start healing. A good place to start is to get on YouTube and just start searching awakening. I want to awaken. Spiritual awakening. Just start right there. And when and if you are really interested in this kind of work and this kind of life, you tell God, you tell the universe, I'm ready. I need some guidance. I want some help. And you'll get it. You'll get it, and your life will be forever changed. And you know what's so neat about spiritual awakenings is you can really go as deep as you want. You can. You take it as far as you want, level by level. It's up to you. I look forward to, it's the air conditioner. I really look forward to working with all of you. I can't wait to see how our paths cross in the years to come as we work together to bring in this new earth that is coming. And we're part of that. So, I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Chin up. If you're having a hard time, just know that everything changes. What goes up must come down. What is down must go up. The pendulum swings. One goes one way, it's got to go the other. It's just a natural cadence in life. And sometimes it's hard waiting for that pendulum to swing the other way. And you think, wow, man, it sure is taking its time. It can get like that sometimes. That's why the company you keep is so important. I cannot stress that enough, you guys. Make sure you're around people that are lifting you up, that are motivating you, that are holding you up. If they're not, ultimate act of love is to remove yourself from that situation. Anyway, I love you guys. Be strong. Interesting days ahead. I love you. Bye.